Hello friends. So I'm back again today with another video lecture, and today I'll be speaking upon configuration. So those who have already studied chemistry, they have come the word configuration, and they have also learned about different nomenclature for configuration. One is the DL nomenclature, which is a relative configuration. The other one is the RS configuration, which is the absolute configuration. So in the last 6 months, I have been making lots of video lectures which has been uploaded in YouTube, and many feedback has come from the viewers. And in coming time, I will be uploading more such video lectures. And if you have any suggestion, you kindly mail me in my mail ID, which is present in the YouTube channel. So for the new viewers, my YouTube channel is Vedanta69, and myself, Vedanta Kumar Bora, Associate Professor, Department of Chemistry, Debraj Roy College, Golaghat, Assam, India. So kindly subscribe my YouTube channel, Vedanta69, so that you will get timely updates of the coming video lectures will be uploaded soon in different topics. So today, as I told you, my lecture will be upon stereochemistry. Basically, I will be discussing RS nomenclature. RS means rectus, S means sinisters, most of the students know. But still, I will show you some tricks by which you can easily predict the configuration around a stereogenic center. So for this lecture, I have prepared a PowerPoint, and also I will be utilizing the whiteboard where I will be discussing different molecules and how we determine the RS configuration. So let me now directly go to the PowerPoint for which I have prepared it for you. So the title of my presentation is Absolute Configuration, RS Nomenclature. So as I already told you, myself Vedanta Kumar Bora, Associate Professor, Department of Chemistry, Debraj Roy College, Assam, India. Now before directly going to RS nomenclature, so I will just, for your recap, discuss some terms which we commonly use in stereochemistry. Now what is stereochemistry? So stereochemistry refers to the three-dimensional properties and reactions of the molecule. So stereochemistry, it is the study of the geometrical arrangements of atoms or group around the stereogenic center, and that stereogenic center may be an asymmetric carbon or it may be a carbon-carbon double bond. And basically stereochemistry plays an important role in biochemistry, in human physiology, because most of the drugs which we are using, the medicines we are using, they are chiral medicine, and the property, it depends upon the configuration, so which I will be showing you. So that is why this topic is very important. Very important you to understand what is configuration, how we assign configuration, etc. etc. So these are some terms which we use in stereochemistry. Stereoisomers, they are different compounds which have same structural formula, but they have different geometrical arrangement of atoms or group around the stereogenic center. So the stereogenic center, it may be an asymmetric carbon, which we commonly call as the chiral carbon, or it may be a carbon-carbon double bond. Then what are enantiomers? Stereoisomers can be broadly classified as enantiomer and diastereoisomer. Enantiomers are stereoisomers which are mirror image to each other, and these enantiomers, they possess non-superimposable mirror image. A pair of enantiomer, it will have all same physical property, but they have only different ability to rotate plane polarized light. And they are generally prefixed as plus and minus. Plus means it rotates plane polarized light to the right, and minus means it rotates plane polarized light to the left when passed through their solution. Then we have another type of stereoisomer which are called diastereoisomer. And these diastereoisomers are stereoisomer, but they are not mirror image. So if you look at the molecules of cis-2-butene and trans-2-butene, they are not mirror image. They are stereoisomers, but not mirror image. And such stereoisomers which are not mirror image are called diastereoisomer. Now frequently you use the word chiral center, but nowadays this word chiral center is not used, and it is replaced by another word. It is called stereogenic center. So before we just define chiral center means a carbon atom which is attached to 4 different atoms or group. So here let us suppose this black ball represent carbon, and this is an sp3 carbon. It has 4 valency, and these 4 valencies are satisfied by 4 different colored balls, which I mean that this carbon atom is attached to 4 different atoms or group. So here in these 2 pictures are not same. The structures look same, but they are not same. Here the green ball is to your right, and the same green ball is to their left. This pink ball is to the left, and here this pink ball is to the right. So what I mean that the orientation of green and pink ball are different in these 2 structures, and we say that these 2 carbon atoms, though they belong to the same molecule, but they have different configuration. So configuration, it is like our left hand and right hands. Suppose this is your right hand and this is your left hand. They look same, they look similar, but they are not same. Because this is the right hand and the thumb, it is pointing to the right, and this is the left hand and the thumb is pointing to the left. Then the index finger also, for the right hand, the index finger is pointing toward the right, and for this left hand, the index finger is pointing toward the left. So we say that right hand and left hand has got different configuration, means the geometrical arrangement of the finger are different. So arrangements of atoms or group in space around the stereocenter of the molecule is what we call configuration. So just look at these 2 molecules. This is an asymmetric carbon or a chiral center or a stereocenter, and it is attached to a methyl group, chlorine, hydrogen and fluorine. So here you can see the orientation of fluorine and methyl group are different in these 2 pictures. So we say the configuration around this carbon atom are different. So what I want to mean that configuration represents the geometrical arrangement of different atoms or group around the stereogenic center. And in case of enantiomer, so enantiomer has different ability to rotate plane polarized light, and enantiomers also have different configuration around the asymmetric carbon or the stereocenter, or commonly which is called the chiral center. So here these 2 compounds, they are optically active because carbon atom is attached to 4 different atoms or group, and so they have a non-superimposable mirror image. And if a molecule has non-superimposable mirror image, then the molecule will be chiral and it will be optically active. An optically active compound will exist as mirror image, and one of them will rotate plane polarized light to the right, the other one will rotate plane polarized light to the left, and they're prefixed as plus and minus. So enantiomers do have different ability to rotate plane polarized light, and they also have different configuration around the stereo center. So this is the stereogenic center, and these two represent a pair of enantiomer. And when you interchange two atoms or group, here you see fluorine and this methyl group, you are interchanging them and give rise to another stereoisomer. And different stereoisomer will have different configuration around the stereo center. So already I told you that enantiomers, they have non-superimposable mirror image. Enantiomers are stereoisomer which are mirror image. So this is plus lactic acid and this is minus lactic acid. So we understand plus means that if we pass plane polarized light through the solution of this particular molecule, then it will rotate plane polarized light to the right. And if we pass plane polarized light to the solution of this compound, it will rotate plane polarized light to the left. So it is prefixed as minus. Now what is this SNR? That is the question. So SNR represent the configuration around the stereo center. So here what you see, the configuration around the stereo centers are different. Here methyl group is in the right, methyl group is in the left, carboxylic group is in the left, carboxylic group is in the right. So the geometrical arrangement around this stereo center here and here are different, and which we say that they have different configuration. So RS nomenclature is used to assign configuration. So we say that this carbon has configuration S and this carbon has configuration R. So here one thing I want to mention, that configuration is a theoretical concept. So you can theoretically predict the configuration whether it is R or whether it is S. But optical activity, whether it will rotate plane polarized light to the right or whether it will rotate plane polarized light to the left, it is an experimental quantity. So you cannot determine theoretically whether a particular compound will rotate plane polarized light to the right or whether it will rotate plane polarized light to the left. So today I have chosen this topic. How will you determine how configuration S is assigned or how configuration R is assigned? So here you see both of them, their specific rotation is same. Only difference, one is plus means it is rotating plane polarized light to the right. The other one is rotating plane polarized light to the left. I think this is clear to you. So these enantiomers, they have different biological activity. So here are two molecules. Actually, there are two stereoisomers. They are same molecule. They are both thalidomide. So this is plus thalidomide. You can easily say what is plus. Means it will rotate plane polarized light to the right. And this is minus thalidomide. It rotates plane polarized light to the left. R means configuration around this carbon is R. And configuration around this carbon is S. So enantiomers, they have different configuration. They have different ability to rotate plane polarized light. And also they will have different configuration. And the configuration part we can assign theoretically. We have some set of rules I will explain you by which you can assign configuration. Now here you see that this R plus thalidomide, R means configuration, plus means direction of rotation of plane polarized light. It was used as a drug and it was administered to pregnant women to control their nausea and vomiting, and thalidomide worked good. So they administered a recipe mixture of thalidomide. That means they administered a mixture of both R plus and S minus thalidomide. And later on it was found that the babies which are born to this woman, they carried various disability. You can see that they did not have limbs. Here they did not have limbs, maybe hand or maybe from foot. Some of them did not have ears. And later on, when research was conducted, they found that only R plus thalidomide was effective as a medicine. Whereas S minus thalidomide, it was a teratogen. Teratogen means it affects the fetus. And as a result, the babies which are born, whose mother used the thalidomide as a medicine, had certain physical disabilities. So enantiomers, though they have different configuration, they have different ability to rotate plane polarized light. Enantiomers also have different biological activity. That means both R plus and S minus thalidomide do not have same biological activity when it is administered to human body. Then you can see this is limonene. This is S-limonene and this is R-limonene. There is the stereo center. This is the stereo center. S means configuration around this carbon is S and configuration around this carbon is R. So they have different flavor. S-limonene, it is present in lemon. You have the lemon flavor. And R-limonene is present in orange and it has got the orange flavor. So the biological activity of enantiomers are different. So it is very important to study RS nomenclature, that how do we assign this RS nomenclature. So here, absolute configuration, RS nomenclature, usually only one enantiomer will be biologically active, and configuration around the chiral carbon is specified with R and S. And different molecules must have different names. So we have already seen that plus and minus, they represent an experimental property in which direction plane polarized light get rotated. And R and S, it is assigned theoretically. We have a set of rules, and through this rule we assign configuration. So one thing more I want to tell you that optical activity is a property of a molecule as a whole, whereas configuration is a property of a stereo center. So a molecule, it may contain more than one stereo center, and it is necessary to assign configuration to each stereo center. For example, you remember tartaric acid. In tartaric acid, there are two stereo centers, and in each stereo center, they have different configuration. Similarly, in case of glucose, it has got 4 stereo centers, and each stereo center has its own configuration. I will discuss it later. So here, this is another, it is a molecule of alanine. It is an amino acid, and this is the stereo center. So we can assign configuration. So just I will tell you what is this configuration. This configuration is S. It will be S. I will tell you how it is a S. It is S. It is not R. It is S. I will just discuss in the coming slide how we assign configuration. There are a set of rules. So this RS nomenclature, and it was forwarded by 3 gentlemen, Ken, Ingold, and Prelong. There are 3 different chemists from different countries, and they have forwarded this RS nomenclature. And sometimes it is also called as CIP nomenclature. C stands for Ken, I for Ingold, and P for Prelong. So CIP nomenclature means Ken, Ingold, Prelong nomenclature, and commonly it is called RS nomenclature, and it is a method of assigning absolute configuration. So you can assign configuration 2 ways: so the relative configuration and absolute configuration. So relative configuration means we assign configuration with respect to plus glyceraldehyde and minus glyceraldehyde. But in absolute configuration, configuration is not assigned with a reference molecule. So how this configuration works? The configuration works in a simple way. You have to first determine the priority of the 4 different atom cell group attached to the stereo center or asymmetric carbon or chiral carbon. So already I told you that chiral carbon or an asymmetric carbon or a stereo center, it has a carbon atom where it is linked to 4 different atom cell group. And in the RS nomenclature, what you have to do, you have to assign priority to the 4 different atoms or group. The highest priority is 1. Already you know that 1 always stands first, then second, then third, then fourth. Fourth is the lowest priority. Then what you will do, you will have to view the molecule so that the lowest priority is away from you. Just, I will show you one molecule. So here you can see one molecule, tetrahedral molecule. It has 4 different atoms or group. So your first task will be to determine the priority of each atom or group attached to the stereocenter, and you mark the priority as 1, 2, 3, 4, where n stands for highest priority, 2 for second highest priority, 3 for third highest priority, and 4 the lowest priority. Then you have to look at the molecule so that the lowest priority is away from you. Then you draw a circular arrow from 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Then you observe the sequence 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. And if the sequence is circular, we assign configuration R, capital R, mind it, and capital R means rectus, that is to the right. And if the sequence 1 to 3 is anti-clockwise, then we assign configuration S. S means sinister, means to the left. So here, again I am repeating, so you will determine the priority of the 4 atoms or group attached to the asymmetric carbon, and then you observe the sequence 1, 2, 3 in such a way that the lowest priority is away from you. So if it is in the wedge representation, then the lowest priority must be in the broken wedge. Then if the sequence 1, 2, 3 is clockwise, we assign configuration R. R stands for rectus. And if the sequence 1, 2, 3 is anti-clockwise, then the configuration is assigned S. S means sinister. So this is the simple thing. So this is a chiral center or a stereo center. We use the word stereo center or a symmetric carbon, and it is attached to 4 different atoms or group. So this is the highest priority 1, this is the second highest priority, this is the third highest priority, and this is the fourth highest priority, which is projected backwards. That means when I am observing this molecule, 4 will be away from you. It is projected backward of my screen. And now this sequence you see 1, 2, 3, it is clockwise. So the configuration is R. Here the mirror image, 4 is projected backward, it is away from you, and the sequence 1, 2, 3, it is in anti-clockwise, so it is sinister. So I hope it is clear. So stereochemistry is not so tough, it is very easy. So I am trying to make you easy so that you can understand it. So here it is in the what projection? It is called the wedge representation. This is the wedge representation. This is the chiral center, and these are the 4 different atoms or group: highest priority, second highest priority, third highest priority, and fourth is in the broken wedge, which means it is behind the plane. That means when I am looking from this side, 4 is away from it. Then sequence 1, 2, 3 clockwise, so it is R. The sequence 1, 2, 3 anti-clockwise, it is H. So look at this molecule. Can you see this molecule? This is carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4 highest priority, second highest priority, third highest priority, fourth highest priority. Now we have to look the molecules at 4 is away from you. That is the lowest priority will be away from you. So let us rotate the whole molecule. Let us rotate the whole molecule in anti-clockwise direction. Then 4 will go behind. 3 will come to the place of 4. And 2 will come to the place of 3. Can you see it? So this is a particular molecule. Here, the highest priority, second highest, third, fourth. So in order to assign configuration, whether it is R or whether it is S, you need 4 to be away from you. So you will rotate the molecule as a whole along this bond axis. Then 4 will go behind. There is 4. 1 will remain in its same place because we are rotating along this axis. 2 will come here and 3 will go to the place of 4. Now you measure, you see the sequence 1, 2, 3. 4 is away from you. It is anti-clockwise, so it is S. So here, similar thing they are using. So lowest priority is away from you. The sequence 1, 2, 3 clockwise are lowest priority 4 is away from you. The sequence 1, 2, 3 is anti-clockwise or counterclockwise. So it is assigned configuration S. So I hope till now you are clear when the configuration will be R or when configuration is S. Configuration is R when the sequence 1, 2, 3 is clockwise, provided that the lowest priority is away from it. And if the sequence 1, 2, 3 is in a clockwise direction as it is here, provided the lowest priority is away from you. And the lowest priority will be away from you when it is behind the plane. And in wedge representation, when the group is in broken wedge, it is behind the plane. Then it is R. Now, how will you assign priority? That is the important part. How we assign priority? So we assign priority of atoms or group based upon their atomic number. Higher atomic number means higher priority. So if 4 different atoms to a chiral, assign priority number to each atom attached to the chiral carbon on the basis of atomic number. So atom with highest atomic number is assigned the highest priority. And in case of isotopes, if you are having isotopes have same atomic number, then you assign priority on the basis of atomic weight. First, you will assign priority on the basis of atomic number. The atom or group which have higher atomic number will have high priority, and atom which have lower atomic number will have lower priority. And if there are two atoms, same atoms, they're isotopes, then the atom which have higher atomic weight will have higher priority. Just look at this one. Look at this one. So here it is an hypothetical molecule. It is attached to, this is the chiral center, stereo center, a symmetric carbon. It is attached to hydrogen, chlorine, fluorine, and iodine. So here highest atomic number is iodine. Lowest atomic number is hydrogen. Fluorine is 9, chlorine is 17. So highest priority iodine, second highest priority chlorine, third has priority fluorine, and fourth has priority is hydrogen. So here hydrogen, iodine priority 1, chlorine priority 2, and fluorine priority 3, and hydrogen is priority 4. But here in this picture what you see, hydrogen is in front of the plane and chlorine is behind the plane. So our rule states that the lowest priority should be away from you. It must be behind the plane. So we rotate the molecule as a whole. You rotate it 180 degree. Then this hydrogen which is in front of the plane, it will go behind the plane. And chlorine which is behind the plane, it will come in front of the chlorine, it will come in front of the plane. So hydrogen goes back, this hydrogen goes back, this chlorine comes here, and this chlorine comes here. So now you can observe the sequence 1, 2, 3. Hydrogen is behind the plane, it is away from you, and the sequence is clockwise. So configuration will be R or S. It is R. I hope you understand. So here again lactic acid, you see lactic acid. This is the chiral carbon attached to oxygen, attached to carbon, attached to carbon, attached to hydrogen. So here highest priority is hydrogen. highest priority is OH group because oxygen has got highest atomic number, and lowest will be hydrogen. It has lowest atomic number. The problem is now with CH3 and COH group. CH3, it is connected through carbon. COOH, it is also connected to carbon. So it is something like a cricket match getting tied. Tie means they are having same score. So if the score is same, sometimes they see who has lose less number of wicket. Then what we'll do if such a situation arises that the chiral center is attached to same atoms, as here it is attached to CH3 to carbon and carboxylic group through carbon, then we will assign priority on the basis of higher atomic number of the second atom. So here the second atom is hydrogen, the second atom is oxygen, and oxygen is getting higher atomic number. So carboxylic group will have higher priority over methyl group. So highest priority oxygen, OH group, because oxygen has the highest atomic number. Lowest priority hydrogen. In fact, hydrogen will be always lowest priority because it has got the least atomic number. And remaining to CH3 and COH, both connected through carbon. So we assign priority on the basis of the second atom with high atomic number. So carboxylic group wins because the second carbon is oxygen. Here the second carbon is oxygen. Now the sequence 1, 2, 3, it is anti-clockwise, so it is S. The sequence 1, 2, 3, clockwise, it is R. So this thing I was telling, so sometimes there may be a tie because two groups may be attached to same atoms. Then what we will do, we will assign priority on the basis of higher atomic number of the second atom. And if the second atom also get tied, then you will go for the third atom. So here you see these groups, I will show you. Methyl group, ethyl group, and propyl group. The priority and propyl group is highest, etc. So here I can show you this methyl, ethyl, and N-propyl group on the basis of priority. So this is your methyl group. This is your ethyl group, and this is your isopropyl group. So this is the chiral carbon. This is the chiral carbon. So these three groups are attached to same carbon atom. Then what we'll do, we'll assign priority on the basis of higher atomic number of the second atom. So here the second atom is hydrogen. Second atom is hydrogen. Here the second atom to this carbon is hydrogen and carbon. So this particular carbon, it is attached to two hydrogen and carbon. And here this carbon, it is attached to one hydrogen and two carbon. So you see, this carbon is attached to higher atomic number of two carbon. So this one will get the highest priority. So similarly, what you can do, suppose you have CH3, CH2F, and CH2Cl. So CH3, so here they are tight because all these groups are attached to same carbon atom. One here second carbon atom is hydrogen. Second atom with higher atomic number is fluorine, and second atom with higher atomic number is chlorine. So chlorine atomic number 17, fluorine 9, hydrogen 1. So this one will get highest priority this one second highest, and this one third highest priority. So what I try to tell you that when the first rule fails, that means the asymmetric carbon is attached to same kind of atom, then you assign priority on the basis of higher atomic number of the second atom. The second atom, you just look at this. Okay, so again I have to go for the screen sharing. So where we left? Okay, we left here. So here already heteroatom I have elaborated. So there was, and in the example there was a CH3 group, there was a CH2F group and CH2Cl group. So on the basis of the higher atomic number of chlorine, CH2Cl gets higher priority. So here you can again see here these two group you see, the first atom is carbon, second atom hydrogen and carbon, and this carbon is attached to one oxygen, this carbon is attached to two oxygen, so this one will get higher priority. Then another thing, that while you determine priority, you have to consider a double bond as 2 single bond, triple bond as 3 single bond, etc. So this is another rule. So the summary of the three rules is that you assign priority on the basis of higher atomic number. If rule 1 fails, then you assign priority on the basis of higher atomic number of second atom. And if that rule also fails, then you assign priority on the basis of higher atomic number of the third atom, so and so. Then you have another thing, that double bond is considered to be equivalent to 2 single bond, triple bond is equivalent to 3 single bond, and carbon oxygen double bond is equivalent to 2 carbon oxygen single bond, so and so. So here's one molecule. Here you can see this is the stereocenter, and it is attached to hydrogen OH NH2Cl. So out of this, Cl has got the highest atomic number. So priority 1, after Cl, O has got highest atomic number. So OH has got priority 2. Then NH2 has got third highest atomic number, it has priority 3. And already hydrogen is behind the plane, and the sequence 1 to 2, 2 to 3, it is anti-clockwise, so it is S. And here the sequence 1 to 2, 2 to 3 is clockwise, so it is R. So assigned priority, we have already seen it. This is the assigned priority. So here this is the stereocenter. This is the stereocenter. So this stereocenter is attached to chlorine, has priority. Then you get carbon. Then next is chlorine. Here next is carbon. So this one will have, this carbon will have higher priority. This one third has priority, and hydrogen has got the lowest priority. So here also this carbon-carbon double bond is expanded, and it is equivalent to 2 carbon-carbon single bond. These are the 2 carbon-carbon single bond, here one and here one. Then you can assign priority, so you can do the priority. So this is a carbohydrate molecule. Already I told you, it has got 4 stereocenter, And out of this 4 stereo center, you can see the configuration R, S, R, H, etc. Now I will go to the board and discuss some molecules for you. So suppose we have this molecule. Suppose we have hydrogen here, we have chlorine here, and we have a CH3 group here, and we have a C2H5 group here. So here this carbon, it is attached to 4 different atoms of group: hydrogen, chlorine, ethyl group, and CH3 group. So first of all, we will assign priority. So highest atomic number chlorine 17, so it will be priority 1. Hydrogen priority 4, and out of these two, you see the first carbon is carbon, the second atom is hydrogen, and here the second atom is carbon. So this one will have higher priority. Ethyl group will have higher priority than methyl group. So this one will be 2, this one will be 3. Now the problem is what? That for hydrogen, it is not behind the plane, it is in front of the plane. So I have to push it behind the plane. So one thing you have to remember, when you interchange one pair, then the configuration gets inversed. So in order to keep the configuration intact, you have to interchange 2 pairs. That means if you interchange odd number of pair, 1 or 3, the configuration will become opposite. And in order to keep the configuration intact, we have to interchange 2 pair or 4 pair, etc. So what I will do, I want hydrogen to come here, so I will interchange this pair. Then if I interchange this pair, what will happen? If I interchange this pair, what will happen? So hydrogen comes here, CH3 goes here. So already told you that if you interchange one pair, the configuration will become opposite. R will become S, S will become R. So in order to keep the configuration intact, you have to interchange even number of pairs. So in order to counter it, I will also interchange this pair. Then chlorine goes here, sorry, ethyl group goes here, and chlorine comes here. Now this is 4, it is away from you. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and it is a clockwise. 1, 2, 3, it is clockwise. So the configuration will be R. So we can assign configuration R. Then what we can do, we can also convert it into Fisher projection and we can assign configuration. So how will you assign Fisher configuration? So look at this model. I will draw Fisher projection. So I will teach you how you can convert it into Fisher projection. So Fisher projection, the line bond will be vertical. This is the Fisher projection. The line bond will be vertical. So here will be chlorine and here will be C2H5. Now look at this angle. The angle between these two line bond, it is pointing towards left. So we call it is pointing toward left. It is pointing toward left. If this angle point toward left, then the group which is in the wedge, it will be in the left. So hydrogen will be in the left. And the group which is in the broken wedge, it will be in the right. So here I am again repeating. So if you want to convert it from flying wedge to Fisher, you draw two intersecting straight lines. Then the atoms of group in the line bonds will be vertical. Then you observe this angle. If it is to the left, then the group which is in the wedge will be in the left. And if this angle is to the right, then the group which is in the wedge will be to the right. So here this angle is to the left. So hydrogen which is in the wedge, we write it in the left and CH3 in the right. Now here again you see, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, that is the priority and lowest priority. So in Fischer projection what happens? The vertical bond represents the bond which are behind the plane. You already studied or you remember that in Fischer projection, the vertical bonds are the bonds which are behind the plane. So I have to push hydrogen to the top or to the bottom. So we can do it like this. I will push it hydrogen to the top. I will replace it with chlorine. Then what we will get? You get hydrogen here. You get chlorine here. And if you do one interchange, then the configuration will be opposite. So to keep the configuration intact, I have to interchange another pair. I interchange this pair. Then CH3 comes here and C2H5 goes there. So 1, 2, 3. It is 1, 2, 3. It is 1, 2, 3, hydrogen 4. It is at the top, means it is below the plane. So we not count this 4. Then this requires 1, 2, 3 clockwise. So this configuration is R. So this is also how we can assign the configuration. So what about tartaric acid? Here we can see tartaric acid. COOH, OH, H. So here, this is one stereocenter, this is another stereocenter, and we have to assign independently configuration at each stereocenter. So here, first of all, I will assign configuration to this stereocenter, and it is attached to OH, COH, H, and this particular group. This is another group. These are the groups. So if you assign the priority, you see this is highest priority because this carbon is directly attached to oxygen, which is having the highest atomic number. This one is the lowest priority. Then this carbon and this carbon are tied. So if you look at the second atom with highest atomic number, here you see that it is attached to carboxylic group. Carboxylic group means COOH. So it is equivalent to, this is a carbon oxygen double bond, and carbon oxygen double bond is equivalent to 2 carbon oxygen single bond. So oxygen, oxygen, oxygen. So here what you see that this carbon, it is attached to 3 oxygen atom, and this carbon, it is attached to hydrogen, 1 oxygen, and carboxylic group. So only 1 oxygen. So definitely this one will have highest priority. So we can write this is priority 1. This is this was 1. This was 2, and this was 3. Okay. Now we will do some interchange. So what we have to do? We have to put hydrogen to the top or to the bottom. We will do this interchange and also this interchange, because we have to always do two pair interchange. If you do one pair interchange, then configuration will become opposite. So then what happens? Hydrogen goes here. Hydrogen goes here. Here you have the carboxylic group, HOOC. Then OH comes here, and you have this particular group CH, OH, COOH here. So now 1, 2, 3, 4 sequence. It is clockwise. So we have configuration R. We have a configuration R. So this particular molecule COH, OH, H, OH, H. So if you number the carbon atom, 1, 2, 3, 4. So at carbon atom number 2, this is carbon atom 2. This is what? C2. At carbon atom 2, you have configuration R. And at carbon atom 3, this one will be carbon atom 3. You can find it. It will be also R. You can find it out. It will be also R. So the complete name will be 2R3. So in similar way, what we can do, we can assign configuration to glucose. And for glucose, you have seen that there are 4 stereocenter, and each and one is having independent configuration. So this is your glucose molecule. 4 carbon atoms. So similarly, you can assign configuration to this 4 stereocenter, and if you apply the CIP rule or the RS nomenclature, then this one will be R. This is carbon atom number 2R, 2R, 3S, 3R, 4R configuration. So I hope I could explain you this RS nomenclature, that is the CIP rules, that is the Kahn, Ingold and Prelog rules. So please watch this video and also subscribe my channel, so you'll be getting timely updates for many upcoming videos. So until then, goodbye. See you.